How's everybody doing? Great. All right, so just, obviously normal kind of Friday operation for us here today, getting ready to go. Just from a roster standpoint, I kind of forgot to tell you guys this yesterday, but, as far as not at practice, Hand won't be at practice again, today. That was something on Wednesday out at practice, just kind of felt it again. So, we held him out yesterday, won't practice today. The other one was Austin Bryant. That was actually in practice yesterday, a little bit tight in his hip. Didn't really push it too much, but we're not going to practice him today from that standpoint. So those would be the two guys from that standpoint. Everybody else, I think, is kind of normal operation, as far as that's concerned. Some guys that are limited, but they're pushing through from that aspect of it. Other than that, just, trying to get ready to go. Critical day for us here with the red area coming up and working through all the different transitions of the game, making sure we're doing a good job reviewing all the special teams and just continuing to push forward to, to get ready. So other than that, just go with questions.
With Deshaun, does it become a point where you just put him on IR because it seems like he gets healthy and then gets hurt, gets healthy, gets hurt, it seems like maybe not getting completely better?
No, I don't think that's anything as far as that's concerned. We got guys that are dinged up. It is what it is, and we can only have so many active for the game, with that, of course. So for him right now, we're just trying to, to push through it, and something that he's fighting really hard to try to get out there as much as he can and go. And a lot of the guys are, they're sore and all that, and that happens. But sometimes, you try and you just can't from that standpoint. So we'll just keep working with it, as it goes.
Setback aside, you guys do seem to have a little bit better health on the defensive side of the ball, I guess. It's got to be nice to have that out there.
Yeah, maybe jinxed ourselves yesterday, so I'll be careful how I answer that one. It is good to have those guys out there, be able to kind of roll through some different packages and get a look at some guys kind of in the positions where, you think they can play at a high level and look at that kind of come together from that standpoint. But, it's part of the deal every single week. You deal with it and you push forward. But it's been good. I do feel a little bit like we got some more guys out there that are out competing and trying to get better and looking at some guys that we haven't seen in a while.
Cliche, best ability is availability. I think it's been 12 of 15 that Hand's missed, but it's been 3 very different injuries. Is the fact that it's, just different things, do you see that as symptomatic of just bad luck for a guy?
I don't really dive into too much of that stuff from that standpoint. I've seen players that have had a lot of injuries early in their careers and then not any injuries after. So guys that get injured late in their career. I think some of it's just, it is what it is from that standpoint. It's a violent game when you're in those situations, and a lot of those some of those things are, unavoidable, that happen. So we take each one individually, try to get better and get them back out there.
He is a young player that's in a very critical stage of his development, that year 2 that you talk about so regularly. How much of a setback has this been for him, just being out of practice so much, dating all the way back to early training camp?
Sure. I think just in general, if you're not at practice, if you're young or older or whatever it is, and certainly as the season goes, I think those practice reps are really important. I think it's critical to gain that experience. I thought we had a good stretch maybe in the middle of the season with him where he was practicing, trying to gain those kind of lost padded days back, as we were going forward, making some good progress. And, just another injury, another situation. But certainly for us, we don't really dwell on things like that. I think those are things that tend to maybe cause frustration or things that just distract from, worrying about getting better, getting healthy, and getting back out there. So control what you can control in that aspect of it and just try to get better and go.
Such a good player for you last year, and versatility up and down that line. What sort of challenges have been schematically for you this year to scheme around the injury?
Yeah, I think we try to, overlap players in those situations and make sure that we have guys that can do different things that we need to in those roles. Thought, certainly he did a great job in those situations for us last year. But, we've moved forward from where we are right now and got different guys all over the board from that standpoint, and just try to put everybody we can in the best situation for us each week, and each week it's a little bit different as far as that's concerned. But, just deal with the guys that are out there and get ready to go.
I know last year we asked you about your cleats. I think it's the same.
It is, yep.
Can you just explain again why it's so important to you and just the awareness, I guess, you hope to bring to this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's a great weekend, for the league and for the players, kind of working together to kind of get the word out for the different causes and support everybody from that standpoint. So I think that's, it's a tremendous effort by everybody. I'll be wearing cleats with the Word of Honor organization. Again, same organization I wore the cleats for or the shoes for last year. It's really an organization that kind of hits home with me. They're involved with facilitating milestone events for children of families that have lost service members either in the Navy SEALs or Special Forces operations, and just something that I think we've learned with our players and our staff as we work with different organizations like TAPS and things like that, how important those milestone events become for the families that are left behind. Certainly it may be years later or whatever it is, but it often spawns a lot of memories and a lot of situations where those loved ones, those lost loved ones are missed. And this is an organization that really is all about keeping the promise. And I think that's really important for me. I have a lot of personal relationships and friends with people in the organization, and then obviously people that the organization helps. And it's a great thing to be able to be there and to assist, in helping those those people that are trying to keep the promise, facilitate those great events, and be there for everybody. So I think they do a lot of really good things, and certainly it's those situations we want to make sure that those loved ones aren't lost or forgotten, and we're trying to help establish that support even though they're not here.
You've gotten a couple of days to look at Carry-On. How's the knee held up? How does he look?
Yeah, I think Carry-On's actually looked pretty good out there moving around. We had an opportunity to kind of get him into some different team periods too, which was good, and make some reads. Some things out there that we got to get back in vision and things like that we got to see a little bit better. But movement and stuff like that, it's been really good from that standpoint. Looked good.
Weird question, but does having Carry-On back in practice help Bo in any way? Just having a guy like that out there?
Yeah, man, I think it helps the team, just in general, and certainly the running backs, those guys are competitive guys, but just kind of that on the field sort of communication, conversation piece of, hey, what'd you do here? What'd you see here? This is what I look at. This is kind of that maybe experience part of it that you can kind of pass down, and really through all those guys, we've got some young players in that room, so that part of it's been good.